This dream that I had this year was quite surprising. Um, Very intriguing, I must say. And I really didn't expect to have anything like this at all. Like, this is not my nature to study. I have heard it online or read it, you know what I'm saying, newspapers, or like journals and stuff like that. And, hearing about like in movies, entertainment, things like that in media. But I also have seen it, in Greek mythology and ancient Egyptian goddess and gods, and I really wasn't, what I'm saying, it really wasn't my kind of thing to be entertained by. I wasn't like, oh, okay, cool. I was just like, okay, it wasn't like I was really interested in that type of stuff. I really wasn't. And what I seen in this dream, and I can tell you that God allowed me to just see it as if I was right there, and I mean it because my focus was just on what He allowed me to see. Everything else in the dream was completely black, no background, no nothing. It was just those creatures and humans, I must say, and how they just interact with one another and how they felt and what I seen. Um, I used to think that this stuff was fake, made up, that a lot of people have rumors saying that, okay, underground bases, and they're taking humans and they're taking animals and they're just mixing it up, having these creatures, you know what I'm saying, and they're being found out in the sea or in the land. I'm like, like I said, I wasn't naive about it, but I wasn't arrogant either. I was like, oh, maybe not, I don't know. So I just came to God a while ago, I don't know how long. I just asked him, like, God, is this stuff true? Is this stuff true? And just shine some light on it that I can really completely understand and what's really going on, you know. So I'm about to just share with you what I've seen, and also I'm gonna also give you some clips too, about what I have found online about this type of stuff, and it's gonna be in the video after what I have to say here. All right. Okay, this was a dream. Remember, everything was completely black, and it was just these creatures just right in front of me. All right. It was a toddler. They were hugging each other. They seemed happy, maybe about 3 years old. It was happy. I'm not sure if it was a boy or girl, but they were hugging each other, and on their backs was actually a dog. From the back of their neck, not their head necessarily, but the back of their neck all the way down to their butt, it was like a dog. And the dog was just laying like flat. You know what I'm saying? You know how a dog just lay like this? It was laying just like that. And it seemed to probably be moving as if it was alive, but not much. It wasn't wild and it wasn't like dead. It was just right there. And they were alive. The toddlers seemed like they were happy, that they were just okay, like nothing affected them, like they wasn't bothered by it. And as this toddler was hugging another toddler, they were together. They seemed like to be like twins. Now this other toddler was like having the same thing on their back, and I'm just looking at them, just analyzing this whole vision that I seen. I'm like, this seemed to be weird. And the next scene, it vanished and completely black again. And I also seen this woman, seen her head up close, as like right here, just seen her head up close, and I'm just looking at her. She just smiling. And she moved her ponytail out the way. And when she did that, I was able to see a dolphin's tail right here in the back of her head, a dolphin's tail. And she wasn't affected by nothing. She wasn't fazed by anything. It was just a normal person that seemed like she didn't have a problem with it. And I'm thinking, like, that gotta be painful. I mean, me just thinking about, like, me having some animal head in the back of me or something, it must be hurting. But to them, what I seen, they were okay with it. They were okay with it. It didn't seem natural and it didn't seem normal. Me just viewing this, it really didn't. It didn't seem like, oh, it's normal, it's okay, it's nothing. No, it was just weird. It really was weird. I hear a lot about cloning. I hear a lot about, these hybrids, these animals being found on the land and sea and attacking people. They have bat or have human, or just, it's just weird, what I'm saying, seeing these type of things. And I really don't know much about this stuff. I really don't. To me, it's really confusing. And I mean, is why would I know this is not of God. I know this. This is not of God at all. I'm just wondering, why would any human being will create such a thing like this? And for what reason? That's what I'm trying to get at. And now I know this stuff is true. It's like, why? You know, maybe I'll get the answer, maybe I won't, but now I know this stuff is real. It's crazy. It really is.
What is that?
Germline editing actually has the potential to fulfill what the early eugenics movement wanted to do, in that when you make modifications to your genetics at the germline level, this is the earliest level, sperm, eggs, very early embryos, it becomes a permanent part of the genetic makeup and will be passed forward to all future generations. So if you start making germline modification, especially if you're using transgenic sciences. Now here again, you might be surprised to know that right here in North Carolina at your university, they have what's called a transgenic lab.
Which means?
Which means that they have mice that are part human, humanized mice, transgenic animals, and you can go there and purchase those in order to do experiments. Maybe you're wanting to test a new drug therapy or whatever, and you can't get a license from the FDA to test it on a human, so you get a transgenic animal that's got human genetic material in it, you test it on that, and you see if the human parts of that animal are responding.
But it's one thing to experiment with animals. It's another thing to experiment with humans.
Yeah.
But most of these scientists don't see you and I and Tom as any different from any other animals. They see human beings as part of an animal evolutionary process. They're wrong, but that's how they see us.